Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, shut subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. Stacy was like, man, stop playing, man. He was like, yeah, look, gotta tighten up the seals. Man, y'all get y'all pods, man. Stacy was like, I'm gone. Stacy dipped, went back to his pod, went back in our pod. Oh, yeah, he got his stuff. He was like, yeah. He walked back. I was like, yo, I'm watching the rest from in the pod. I was like, yo, this is out of control, y'all. I used to be bitten off this stuff, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like, it always something funny going on. That was funny right there. Old head grabbed him. Oh, yeah, what you doing? You think you just gonna leave me? Smacked him in his face all light. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I'm like, yo. I said, yo, this joint out of control in penitentiary. I said, man, this joint out of control, man. So Stacy go back upstairs. We locking down. You know, it's almost time for lockdown around this time. So we lock down. So we come back out at the count. You know what I mean? Everything normal, everything going good. So we go to lunch. When we go to lunch, everything was normal. We come back from lunch. Now we're on standby again for 2 o'clock rec. So now we on standby for 2 o'clock rec. Stacy and bro don't be going outside like that. But the cool lady is working. I was telling y'all about the cool lady working. So when they start calling rec, 2D left out first. So when 2D left out, I look. I see the old head dude kind of lurking in the cut. I can see him from where I'm standing at. He right there in the cut, you know what I mean? So when our pod got released, he ain't do nothing but weasel his way inside. I'll jump through the crowd. So he come in the block. First he pull up on a couple of dudes that he know, I guess, from the city he's from. He started talking to them. We got back with his kneel down game. He looking around. So I guess everybody told him, like, yeah, they sleep in cell 23. Yeah, they in cell 23. Yeah, they sleep in cell 23. You know, he was like, he just chilled for a minute, you know what I mean? He finally chilled. He waited after rec was over with, because I didn't go outside. So he waited after rec was gone. CO came, did their little first round. After the CO did their first round, he finally made his way up the steps. Old head went up the steps like this. He walked down and they jumped. He didn't even do no arm jump. He just backed up. He was like, I see Freddie coming door. Freddie was like, he was like, hey man, where Stacy at, man? I ain't come for you, man. Where Stacy at, man? Where Stacy at, man? Fred was like, he just looking at dude. Dude was like, hey yo, get your dope pop, man. Get your dope pop. Next thing you know, door open up. The lady that's cool is working the booth. She's sitting in the joint. He like, she looked up, seen the old head that's 229. She already know he don't supposed to be over here. He look like a freaking psycho on the top tier right now. Promise y'all, man. She look up, she like, he walked over to the joint, the open door, because they the last door on that side. He walked into the joint, he looked in. His word. He was like, hey, look, hey, come holler at me, man. You got me over here, man, all out of bounds, man. Come talk to me right quick, man. I need to see you. Come talk to me right now. What you think, you just gonna avoid me? You can't avoid me, man. I look up, Fred standing by the wall like this. Fred like, oh, he was like, man, look, come downstairs, man. Super cool. He was super cool. I was like, man, come downstairs, man. He start walking. He get down the steps. He's like, yeah. He sat on the table. He was like, crossed his legs. I look up, I seen Stacy putting his stuff on. Stacy come out that jump. Behind him, Fred come right behind him. Fred walking right behind him. But Fred scrapped up. Fred gonna fight for his boy. That's what it looked like to me. This word, they come out and stuff like bad dudes. They come down, they get down that jump. Fred was like, this Fred posture. Stacey came, was like, he sat down, was like, look, I don't know what he was saying. He probably was like, look, I got a boyfriend now. Me and you done. That's what I'm thinking he's saying. I can't hear what he was saying. But they sitting right there having a conversation. Oh, here, like, so how we done? I never said we was done. Yeah, what you think? Because you got an old man now? Because you got another old man? We done? We ain't done. What you mean? We not done. You can't leave me like how we left. We didn't leave on a bad note. They just separated us. That's how we end up leaving. They shipped you to Sussex too. Or did you put in to come to Sussex too? Which one? Because you know you be lying. Stacey was like, I didn't put in to come to no Sussex too. I didn't come here. I didn't put in for this. Why would I put in to come to this place when we was at Augusta together? I was like, oh, nigga, that freaking Augusta prison I was telling y'all about. Land of the shake, rattle, and rollers, y'all. So boom. He was like, I didn't put in to come here. Why would I do that? Yeah. They just moved me here. Maybe like a freaking snapping turtle in the face mixed with Marcus Camby. Promise y'all. He was like, well, look, we ain't in on a bad note, baby. Look, man, come on. Give me another shot. Look, they about to send my other boxes up here. Would have got the rest of my stuff. I'm back loaded. I'm going to start a store box and start a parlay. What's up? I want you to be part of it. But I need you to move over here where I'm at in 2D for us to be able to do that, though. You got to leave that zero and come back to the hero because you already know me and you together, we make magic, babe. I'm sitting here listening to this. I'm like, yo, y'all be thinking I'm joking. This dude was a smooth maniac, man. I'm telling you, man, old head was smooth. Man, I'm sitting and listening to this dude like, this man said you need to leave that zero. I can't laugh, y'all. I promise y'all. This joke was crazy. I said, yo, this joke, wow. So, dude, Stacey looked like he thinking about it. He's slightly considering the joke. So I guess Freddie was like, yo, that's enough right there, man. That's enough right there. Freddie was like, yo, look, man. Look, I don't want to hear none of that, man. All that back in the day stuff, man, ain't got nothing to do with what's going on right now, man. He said, you see where he at right now? You see, he in my cell. That's my cell you went and knocked on. He in the cell with me now, man. So look, we ain't got nothing to do with that no more, man. He was like, just fall back. You're not with her no more, bro. You're not with her no more. I'm like, her? With this her stuff again. I'm like, shh. Jump crazy, man. He was like, yeah, so look, I don't know what you got. Tell him, Stacey. Stacey was like, well, look, yeah, look, I'm happy where I'm at. So, like, it's basically over with us. He was like, nah, baby, it ain't never over. Nah, it ain't never over. I told you I'm about to get my stuff from the other camp, and I'm going to start a stove box and start a parlay. You tell me you don't want to be part of that? He was like, nah, I'm good where I'm at. He was like, how you good? So when he do that, Freddie grabbed him. Freddie was like, the lady said, y'all better stop. I don't got time to be messing with y'all in here today. The lady that be letting him do stuff, she said, y'all better stop. Y'all better stop right now. I don't got time. She went and got the shotty. She was like, I don't got time for it. Y'all better stop. Stop right now. I'm telling y'all. Everybody was like, this word old dude was like, she said, better yet, you get out. Come on, time for you to go. You told me you was coming over here to talk. Time for you to go. You said you weren't coming over here to talk. Come on, you ain't doing no talk. Come on, time for you to go. Old head was like, look, baby, I don't care about that stuff he talking about, man. Just think about what I told you, man. You have a good life, man. I don't know how he treating you, man. If you want the good life, man, come back and holler at me, man. I promise you, I ain't gonna mess with no boys. I'm gonna wait for you. I promise you that. I ain't gonna mess with none of them. I was looking like, oh my God, I'm never coming back to prison again in my life. I promise y'all, man. He was like, I ain't gonna mess with no more boys. I'm gonna wait for you. Make a decision soon, though. That's all I'm gonna say. He walked out of the park like this. He was like, that John sound like he's supposed to have music like he was a maniac, y'all. So boom, he leave out the pod. The lady called Freddie and Stacey to the booth, talking to them one-on-one, make sure everything copacetic, basically covering herself. Like, yeah. So I see Freddie, you know what I mean? So Freddie leave and go back in his cell, you know what I mean? So everybody in the jump talking like, yo, that jump crazy, man. But you know, dude, that old dude, man, they say old dude pushed that knife. You know what I mean? So I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah, they say old dude pushed that knife. Like old dude been down. Like he done time at the wall. You know what I mean? Like he pushed that knife game, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like he been down a minute. I'm like, for real? Like when you hear somebody like another human being tell you that like the reputation of a guy is that he pushed that knife, like don't that sound scary to y'all? But like, yo, you know, dude pushed that knife. Then you in there with these people and you just looking at these people and you know it's no firearms. It's only hand-to-hand combat. And then somebody's telling you like, yo, dude play with that knife, man. He pumped that knife, man. And you will look at him and be like, he do look like he'll be a beast pushing the knife, man. It'll scare you. It'll scare the average person that's not used to being in situations, man, because nobody wants to get stabbed, man. I think people rather get hit with the bullet before they get stabbed. Man, I think that stabbing stuff is like way, way, way out of line, and I know it hurts way, way worse. It never happened to me, thank God. But I'm thinking that's what Freddie's thinking, you know what I mean? So Freddie go back upstairs with the dude, Stacy, you know what I mean? Everything's supposed to be love, everything's straight. And they handled that situation. Stacy told him that he didn't want to be with him no more, and that was that. So now the rumor in the pod is like, yo, old head a maniac. Like, just like how everybody was saying the old head is a freaking psychopath. So that was the word in the pod. That was the word everybody was thinking, like, yo, old head gonna come back and get the boy, because that's his boy. People that was on the custom was like, yeah, look, you know what I mean? He gonna come back and get him. We gonna call old head Frank. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, old head Frank gonna come back. Yeah, Frank gonna be torn around. You know what I mean? So like, it kind of like, it felt like it was true. Because the way he moved and stuff like that, he was just too cool. But it looked like if he could get on attack mode, he can be on attack mode. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like, because he was too skinny to be somebody that wasn't dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be dangerous at that weight. This man looked like he wore a $105, y'all. So boom, I throw him over my shoulders if we ever get into it. He got one swing with a knife. He going over my shoulders though, man. He too light in the ass, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. But it was wild though, man, because he really didn't do nothing else immediately after that, man. But you can tell after all of that went down, it was still bothering Fred. Like, Freddie wasn't used to being in a situation like this. He was used to being a dude that was ducked off in the room dealing with a dude that turned out to be a boy. And I guess he felt like he struck dice with this situation. So like, he's not used to dealing with the things the dudes go through that shake, rattle, and roll. This is the shake, rattle, and roll politics right here, my friend. Welcome to the shake, rattle, and roll big leagues, man. You might have to fight an ex-boyfriend, man. You ready for that? Well, that comes with shake, rattling, and rolling. See, he didn't know that. He didn't know that. So this is what comes with it. So I guess he's thinking now to himself that, like, man, like, what I'm going to do now? Because I was just comfortable. I was just chilling. I was just in a situation. You know what I mean? Everything's straight. Now, when me and him was roommates, my old head that was in there, he wasn't older than like old head, but he was like 31, 32. You know what I mean? So he was way older than us, like 10 years. So, he was our old head. Now, we used to rock with him. But bro was a Muslim, but I me and him would kick it from time to time. He'll give me advice. He'll give me game, anything. He was one of them dudes I would listen to. So my old roommate Freddie knew about him. Man. And for real, like, he knew that I told Freddie one day, man, like when the stuff I had told Freddie, like when that stuff had went down with them DC dudes that were over the TV, like, he was my roommate when that had happened, but I had broke down the situation to him, and I told him, like, yo, look, I had access to go get a weapon. I was like, my man be having them joints. I was like, I can go get it from him. So I had told him that on strip that he might sell it. You know what I mean? Now, I promise you, man, my homeboy pull up on me later on that day. My old head pull up on me. He said, man, look, hey, bro, like, I told him, nah. And he asked me why I told him, nah. I told him because he ain't really supposed to know what was going on. He was like, Weezy will be cool with it. So he was like, I'm going to ask you, is you cool with it? I'm like, cool with what? What are you talking? He was like, man, your roommate came and asked me for a knife. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, bro, Freddie, man, he came and asked me to get a knife, man. I was like, shh, man, look, don't get in the middle of that, man. He was like, I'm not, man. He was like, cause for real, bro, like, I don't got time for the boy. The boy gonna tell him. He was like, that's all they gonna do is just, it's gonna be one big mess. He was like, I don't want anything to do with that jump, bro. He was like, I was this close from really smacking his head off, bro. Cause you don't supposed to be pulling up on me, asking me about no weapons, bro. I don't rock with you like that. I was like, that's a lot, bro. I was like, bro, that's crazy. He did that. I was like, I'm ready to pull up on him and see why he did that lame. He was like, man, hold on. He come right now. I was like, I turned around. He was like, hey, part yourself, man. Hey, Weezy, hey, look, man, it's an emergency, man. I was like, emergency? What are you talking about? He was like, yeah, man, cause the dude Frank, they say he got a knife, man, and like they say he can come back over this junk, man. When that lady leave, man, and like, I ain't gonna let him hurt me, bro, or hurt my boy, bro. I was like, bro, listen, leave us out of this right here. He was like, but I don't have nobody, Weezy. He said, you know what I mean? He said, I just remember you telling me your man had the knife, bro. I was like, bro, you need to holler at them dudes from your town, bro. I said, that's what you need to do, bro. He was like, they ain't gonna give me nothing, man. They don't rock with me no more, man. They cut me off. All of them cut me off. I said, shh, bro, that's the freaking, you know what I mean? That's the consequences when you shake, rattle, and roll. A lot of dudes ain't with that, bro. He was like, I mean, they act like they mad at my lifestyle. Like, my lifestyle is my lifestyle, bro. Like, You know, like if I want to choose to mess with a boy, then that's just what I want to choose to do. I don't tell them what they can do with their life, whatever the case. But you know, that's neither here nor there, man. They ain't gonna give me no weapon, man. The only people I can get a weapon from is y'all, man. Y'all gonna leave me naked, man. That's what y'all gonna do, man. You gonna leave me naked like that, Weezy, man. Besides you finding out after 90 days that I rock with boys, man. Other than that, man, we won't never cool, Weezy, man. I had to really think about that, y'all. I was like, bro, listen, bro, you hit a lot of right points on this situation, man. But still, bro, I said, bro, we ain't getting in the middle of that, man. You know what I mean? We ain't getting in the middle of that, bro. You gotta get your weapon from somebody else. Because first of all, you ain't supposed to say nothing to my man. I said, if anything, you supposed to say something to me, and I would still told you nah. But ain't no way in the world you go past me and go ask the man with the hammer. I said, where they do that at, bro? So boom. He was like, man, I know I was wrong, Weezy, but look, I had no other choice, man. He was like, look, man, I give you $50 in commissary, man. I give you $50 in commissary. I was like, I had to think about it. When I seen my homeboy, his eye kind of jumped when he said that. My homeboy was like, I was like, bro, listen, bro, we ain't, you know what I mean? I said, bro, ain't nothing jumping, bro. He was like, man, I ain't got nowhere else to turn, man. What I'm gonna tell Stacy now? I said, bro, I don't know what you gonna tell Stacy. I said, you and Stacy need to bank dude if it get like that. I said, both of y'all look like y'all supposed to be playing in the NBA anyway, bro. Y'all need to bank him, man. The man don't look like he weigh about 100 pounds. He was like, yeah, but that knife don't weigh 100 pounds, Weezy. I ain't trying to get hit with that. I was like, bro, well, listen, bro, those are the consequences for shake, rattle, and rolling. So you need to be able to live with it, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, he walked away, y'all. So boom. When he walked away, my homeboy was like, hey, look, $50 though, Weezy. I was like, yo, you trying to get that jump? He was like, man, I'm saying, like, $50. I said, bro, you still gonna be an accessory, bro, to after the fact, bro, with $50? That's what you saying, bro? You trust him with the hammer? Somebody that freaking changed in 90 days of messing with boys? Man, I said, man, I was in the cell with a dude that shake, rattle, and roll, and I didn't even know, bro. I said, man, that man been liking boys, man. Ain't no way in the world, man. He was like, man, I'm saying though, Weezy, man, like, he might don't tell it, man, $50, bro. Like $50 might work out though, Weezy, man. I was like, man, look, I don't have nothing to do with nothing. Keep my name out of it. You make the decision you want to make. If you want to get a dude, the hammer to freaking have a freaking sword fight pause with a dude that likes swords, I said, man, go ahead and do it, bro. Go ahead and do it, bro. That's on you. He was like, man, I'm saying, like, I wonder what the $50 is, though. If it's food, I might jump on that joint. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give him this bullshit ass knife. I'm like, bro, what do you mean bullshit? He was like, man, it's just some bullshit, bro. Like, that shit ain't gonna hold up, bro. Like, that shit definitely ain't gonna really poke a nigga good, bro. He was like, it might break the skin, but like, that shit jive like one of my worst weapons I got. I'm like, man, I'm glad you ain't give me that shit if I ever got in trouble. He's like, man, hell nah, man. I'm talking about that nigga, man. You know, come on, Weezy, man. You like, man, but look, shit, that nigga trying to goddamn $50 then, shit. I was like, bro, get your money, bro. That's what you want to do, get your money, man. So he was like, all right. So he was like, he gonna think about it. So I dip off. I dip off and shit, goddamn. I'm just in the cell thinking the whole time, though. I'm like, man, my homeboy. I'm like, you a maniac, man. I'm like, this dude crazy. That man said $50. I started jumping. He was like, you heard that $50? He was like, hey, guys, give him a knife with $50. You know, dudes really don't be getting $50 to borrow somebody's knife. You know what I mean? So, like, I guess really that dude was feeling like, you know, I guess really Freddie was feeling threatened. Freddie was feeling threatened, man. So, like, we go to chow. So we go to dinner. So as we going to dinner, man, it just kept getting crazier and crazier, y'all. I promise y'all. So as we went to dinner, I'm coming down the steps. So you got to go down like 4 flights of steps to get to the bottom floor. Maybe 3. It's like 3 or 4. One of them jumps. But I came down the first one and I hit this one. I look at the flat pavement area before you hit the other part. I see the old dude, Stacy, like this. Stacy kind of like trying to in the middle of the jump. The old dude is in front of Stacy. Stacy got his butt to Freddie, trying to push Freddie back. The old dude is behind. The old dude is behind Stacy. He like this. You can see the knife. He got it. Like he got his jacket. The way he got his jacket, you can tell that he has the knife. Freddie like this. Freddie like. Stacy like, stop. Just go that way, Fred. Go that way. Oh yeah, like move. He was funny. He was like this. He was like move, baby, move. Watch out. Watch out. He kept making his face like this. Like, Freddie was like, watch out, man, move. He was like, move. So they finally get to the steps. Freddie go down the steps. Freddie was like, Stacey was like, just go. So we walk past Stacey. Stacey talk, look, stop. What are you doing? I told you we done. Stop. Like, yo, this junk, like the Young and the Restless. Going down the steps, we're like, yo, this junk crazy. As we walking, I look, we see Freddie. We done passed him because he walking slow. Like, he don't really want to dip on Stacy. Stacy's trying to calm his maniac down. We walked past Freddie. Freddie was like, my homeboy was like, man, I'm going to give you that junk, bro. He was like, I'm going to give you that junk when we get back, man. You got the money, though? Freddie was like, yeah. He was like, you got $50? He was like, yeah. He said, what is it going to be? He was like, man, it's going to be half and half, hygiene and food. My homeboy was like, all right, that'll work. That'll work. He was like, all right, this word. Go to child, come back. We trying to come back. Stacy didn't even come to child. I guess he calmed dude down. They had made him go back to their pods. So when we come back, there's nobody in the hallway or on the staircase. When we come back in the pod, I guess Stacy's in the cell. Bro went in that junk, got that bread. Next thing you know, I see him taking all that stuff down to my man. But I told my man, like, bro, try to play it off. Don't have everybody seeing that he's bringing you food and all that because they already know you. He's getting something from you, bro. I said, that's not how you do business. So he like, yeah, you're right. So he put it together for the nigga Freddie can take it to a dude that sleep in cell 12. So when he did that, it was like they played it off. So it was still the situation that happened. You know what I mean? He was still able to get the knife. So he gave Freddie the knife. Man. Like, this word, he gave Freddie the knife, man. Like, Jones crazy. He gave him the knife, y'all. This word. I was like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with this, man. It was too much going on, y'all. I was like, I don't have nothing to do with this stuff right here. This is too much right here in the playbook for me to be getting involved in, man. He gave the man the knife for the $50. Man, I promise you, man, he gave Freddie that knife, man. Freddie's whole swag changed a little bit. Freddie was like, this after he gave him that knife. Freddie was like, Freddie was on ready mode, y'all. So boom. You know what I mean? I don't know if he told Stacy, but Stacy had to know the count. Man. But I'm like, man, this shit crazy. Bro told me they giving him a old bullshit ass knife. I didn't know how this shit was gonna turn out, y'all, to be honest with y'all, man. Like, this whole shit was fucking nuts. So it was done for the rest of the day as far as movement, rec, and all of that. Child. So when the morning time came, nobody really went to breakfast. So nothing happened that morning. But the sweet lady is working. The lady that's cool as a bitch is working. Man, I promise y'all, man. As soon as goddamn they called standby for outside rec. I looked up. I seen the nigga goddamn Freddie coming down the steps like this. He's doing the right thing. If someone threatens you with a freaking knife, he don't use it, man. Like, your best bet is to go get a weapon and do him before he do you. That's how scary prison is, man. Imagine getting put in a predicament like that. Somebody come after you with that, but somebody break it up. Now you gotta go become him. That's what prison is, man. Turn you into a freaking hand-to-hand combat maniac because that's all you got in there. It's your hands and weapons. That's all you got. So now this is what Freddie looking at it. Freddie looking like he gotta strike first. This is the only thing I'm thinking, that he has to strike first, man. Man, I promise you, man, I don't know where that happened because I missed the jump, man. But everybody was talking about this jump, man. Like, before they came back and locked us down, man, everybody was talking about the jump. When they locked us down, everybody was on the doors talking about how maniac this whole situation was, man. Man, I promise you, man, from what I was told, this is what they told me, y'all. They said when they released outside rec. Now, the only reason I didn't go to outside rec, because I was on some, I don't have nothing to do. I didn't know if he was going to sneak away. I don't know what was going to go on. You know what I mean? Now, I promise you, man, they said when they call outside rec, man. They said when they call outside rec, they said the dude Freddie came down the steps and was just waiting right there at the staircase. They said when 2D got released, they said the old head came out, man. So the old head pimped him. Old head pulled his joint out like he was about to get off on Freddie again. Man, he said Freddie pulled that joint out, man. Said Freddie just started hitting him with the joint. Boom. Boom. But he said Freddie was like hitting him in his arm and like his back because the old head kind of tensed up this way. Man said the old head came, caught Freddie's ass like right here. Boom. Caught his ass right there in the chest, like top chest a little bit. He said, goddamn, that shit like it was stuck in Freddie's ass, man. He said he pulled that bitch out. Goddamn, to start trying to hit it. They said they was down there hitting each other. Man. This word, man. They said they was hitting each other all the way up until the police came, man. They said that shit was like a freaking Freddy Krueger movie down that bitch. They said they was stabbing each other up, man. So the police came from the whole compound. Swarm that shit, man. They locked people on the yard, then everybody else, they made it going back to the building, they locked our pods down. So everything was locked down. They ended up getting the people off the yard, man. So long story short, they found both of the weapons. They found both of the weapons, man. But I was saying in my head, like, man, Freddie just said, fuck it. Freddie said, fuck it, man. So they said they took both of them niggas, man. It was like the old dude was job, all right. He said old dude just had like a bunch of little pokes because he had that bullshit ass knife. They said he had like a little bunch of little punctures. But they said Freddie's shit was fucked, like he was leaking like a bitch. So they say on the walk to the hole, they said that nigga collapsed. And they said they had to get the stretcher to take that nigga Freddie, man. They had to take his ass to the street hospital, y'all. That's my word, man. So when they come in the jump, you know what I mean? They come in the jump, man, they called the nigga Stacy out. And the investigator and everybody was talking to Stacy. And that nigga was down that motherfucker dramatic as a motherfucker. That nigga was like, oh my God. No. Is he all right? Oh my God. Everybody on the top tier looking like, psychopath. This is all over you, you freaking psycho. They talk to him. They talk to him. They talking to him. You know what I mean? He come back. They packed the stuff. He packed his roommate stuff. He packed up all his roommate stuff, brought all his roommate stuff down. You know what I mean? So he gave it to the people, man. His word. Everybody was like, yo, when we coming off lock? They was like, we don't know. Man, them people kept us on lockdown for a week. They kept us on lockdown for a whole week behind this, man. But people did get stabbed. You know what I mean? People did get stabbed, man. But like, this was a crazy situation, man. Stabbing over a boy, man. Like, it goes down like that, though. It gets that dangerous, man. It gets that dangerous, man. So after we was locked down for a week, they was saying both of those dudes was duct tape. You know what I mean? They both weren't coming out. They was like that the dude Freddie ended up making it. You know what I mean? But it was like he had got hit bad. You know what I mean? He had got hurt bad, man. So it's like he ended up being good. Old head was good, but they still was transferring both of them, man. But it was wild because soon as we came off lockdown, man, it was another little dude, man, that was in the joint that came from one of them old mountain spots that moved to 2C that was in the junk, man. He been in the cut the whole time. Soon as he saw that Freddie was gone, man, he shot his shot at Stacy, man. And you know what Stacy did, man? Stacy gave up his cell 23 to some #1 gunners. The #1 gunners. He gave up his cell 23 and he moved downstairs in cell 8 with another dude that shake Rowland Road, man. And that's how the story ended, man. They lived it happily ever after, man. Like, he went down and got another dude, man. And that's how it go, man. He had dudes ready to kill themselves. He had dudes ready to unalive themselves over him. As soon as they leave, he's moving on. That's how it going now, man. It's a crazy situation. Y'all be thinking I'm joking, but it was wild for my roommate to change like that in 90 days, 33 months. That was fast for him to move like that, man. Turn into a shake roller roller, man. But I'm pretty sure he learned this lesson from all of this madness, y'all. But that was a crazy situation. That's the end of the damn story, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching another one, man. Y'all already know the count, man. Stay y'all ass out the way. Period, man. Y'all already know. Come on, man. But this was a weekend banger. So what did y'all do this one? Like, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But be safe out there, people. And stay your ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.